So your tag, okay. He was learning some precision with Falco, so I tried to boot up 20XX to do the barrel buster exercise, but then it crashed. So now we're back to here. Yeah, man, crashing really was bad. Am I back in there? I'm not even on the list of streams yet. Okay. So first I had Markway do the 20XX barrel challenge, which I'll do right now real quick. He's doing a drill right now off camera. The drill we first did was 20XX barrel buster. Real quick, it's just each time you break a barrel, another barrel will spawn. Right, and then, did you get a 3-hit combo? Yeah? Nice, okay. So, when the computer is on evade, what I try to do is practice my approaches into the follow-up, right? So you said you got a 3-hit piece. Now I kind of want you to kind of like imagine you're actually playing neutral, right? So the way you like run up to him needs to be a little bit more deliberate instead of just run at him full force. Yeah, exactly, right? So right now you're still having a little bit of trouble connecting the consecutive hit counter. A lot of it is just ones, right? And that's because you're not hitting him while he's in hit stun, right? And it's because either the first move you're doing is not good form, so like you're not doing low enough dare or something, right? Or the second move is coming out slightly late, right? FD will definitely help with this. Try to get the 3-piece first and then put him on evade, right? So the low downer into aerial, we'll start it off pretty good. And I can also show you this if this will visually help you. So right now, Markway's on the other screen. He's on my off-screen CRT doing this exercise. I'll pull him back onto the computer once he's done drilling, but what I'm asking him to do right now is to get a 3-piece combo. Alright. I want you to pause real quick and watch me. Alright, so the first down here has got to be low to the ground. So let's get him. Okay. So, oops. Oh, I'm so bad right now. So a lot of times too, it's this I can't pause in training mode. It's when you cross them up with this downer, it's like slightly easier to get the backwards hit, right? Just slightly better angle, I guess, on the knockdown. So you cross over. So what will help is like getting them out of zero. Like zero is the hardest one to do this. Yeah. And then, so yeah, you did the good low downer. Exactly, there you go, right? You got the 3-piece pretty well. So why don't you set him to like 20 or 30% and have him on evade? Yeah, and then you can also set his damage, exactly. So you set his damage to like 20 or 30-ish. Let's do 25. And then basically try to get that low downer that we just talked about, right, into shine, into aerial. Right, so this is visually for you guys. This is what he's doing right now. He's getting Marth out of zero because it's a little harder. He's on evade. Right, and he's just trying to get that really low downer on a Marth that runs away. Right, and the reason we're using the combo counter is to help you get your links better, right? So there's less chance of the other guy escaping. Training mode. Yeah, and then each time you press pause, it resets down. Nice. There you go. Perfect. Alright, so you're getting a little bit more control over, and then you're also seeing, like, you can't, like, just run on top of him if he's going to move for that combo, right? So, what I like about this is it kind of prepares you for your opponent to not be in the exact same spot that you're approaching, right? Alright. That was about 15 minutes of drilling, right? We did the barrel buster, and Mark, I'm actually going to write this down. I should write this down. Today is the 5th?
6th.
Today's the 6th, damn, are you sure?
I think so.
Today's the 5th.
Never mind.
Alright, 1, 5, 1. This is an offline lesson, and we're doing Falco. So we talked about okay, so Markway has a PM background, and he's used to not having to fight neutral so precisely, is what we kind of talked about during the stream being down. So we're working on precision with barrel buster and training mode. So now you can work on getting those links down together. Yeah, there you go. Now your down air shine is actually a true combo, right? You always want your down air shine to be a true combo. Otherwise, it can shield or spot dodge or you know, do something out of shield. So the first 2 drills we did were basically just to get his tech skill a little bit cleaner and to find ways for him to practice at home. He says he doesn't have a training partner or any real practice at home. He does a lot of it just against bots, but you know, when the bots are hitting you back, it's a little tough to make good decisions all the time. Alright, so this one is just running away. Gotta get that L cancel up tilt. That's the next part of it that you gotta work on. Is like as you're falling from that full hop down here, yeah, there you go. You can up tilt instead of shine.
Yeah.
The up tilt gives you a little bit more control.
Yeah.
And then also with this down air that you're doing, do you notice how the full hop down air you're doing is like a we should just start doing it in here.
Yeah.
Survival. Falco. Pikachu. Fox.
Got you. Alright, so go ahead and pick Falco, and then we're gonna fight Marth, okay? We're both gonna take turns fighting. Alright, so which one are you? You're P2? Okay. Oh, I forgot this is a 20x6. Let me get a spare controller and turn him into a dummy. He's just gonna whoop our ass the whole game. Alright, perfect. Okay. So let's go to alright, why don't you go to the left side, and then I'll try to get this. So alright, I want you oh we gotta go to FD, this platform's on this side. Alright, switch places with me. Okay. So this first down air is low, right? And then you wanna come with the down air above him. Right? There are a couple times where you're doing this. You're doing like this rising full down air. And I want you to go above him to send him down, right? And so it's gonna look like kinda like this. Right? I get above him so that we're both falling quickly, right? And that's how I get this connection. Right? Let's we'll get him down to low, and then we'll just get you to practice it. So low down air shine, and then it's like so after this shine wave dash, jump double jump. So show me that one. And so shine, wave dash, jump, double jump. So your double jump, yeah, it needs to be a little bit taller than Martha's, right? If you jump too quickly, the height of your jump is not that high. So you're gonna shine, double jump, and down air above Mart's head. Right? When you down air above him, then you'll be able to land with this up tilt or this shine. Okay? It's all yours. So one thing that you'll notice is, as I said, is the reverse down air sends him more. So you kind of want to cross him up, but he's at 2 hyper % right now. Right. So instead of hitting him with like here,
The back part.
yeah, you want to hit him like here. Yeah, that's better. That's better. You see how you're above him? Now you just have to like cancel and kind of be below him in a better spot, right? So right there, we corrected that. Instead of your rising down air, you got to do double jump, falling down air. Right? And the falling aerials are what are going to give you more frame advantage. There you go, right? And you get why they give you more frame advantage, right?
Yeah.
Because the beginning of the hit stun is later, and then you
fall faster.
Exactly, you're starting the ground faster, right? So this goes for all of your combo game with Falco, is you want to break it down as much as you can and why it's not working, right? So like, the down air needs to reverse, right? And then you need to double jump above him, and then do the falling one, right? So a thing I would do this upcoming week while you're watching YouTube is to slow down combos and like very carefully notice how he's doing them. Yeah, because it's easy to say what he's doing, but then when you pause it, it's like, okay, he's reversing the down air, right? So he approached, crossed up the down air, shine, and then you like pause again. He's gonna wave dash this way, all right? So like, and then you do it, right? So like, while the video is paused, you pull this up and you do this, right? You do the same motion that he's doing, right? And you see yourself, can I do it the way he was just doing it, right? And then just me describing the way that you're double jumping, right? The height. You were double jumping too fast, so your height wasn't right. So you have to go, okay, well this Falco goes this high, why am I not going exactly, right? So like really break it down and be more detail oriented, because the combos are very difficult, right? And you'll notice why you drop combos more once you do this. Right, so why don't we try to get a decent sized combo on this Marth. Yeah, you missed that up to almost. So a trick to this one, right? So I'm here starting this down air, and I'm already holding up after the fast fall. Okay, so all you have to do is L cancel and hold up. You're still only doing the shine version of it?
Yeah.
Which is okay until like 70%. When you shine him at 70, he'll go too far. So that's when you really need to learn the up tilt. And it'll take some practice. You can even start the up tilt at 0 if you know he's not going to do anything, right? So right now you're still practicing down your shine, but you could just choose right now to just practice down your up tilt. You know what I mean? Even if it doesn't true combo at this low percent, you're still just kind of practicing the timing, the motion. Right. Yeah, now that's a little bit better, right? Now you have more options to follow this up with. And you want to practice it right while you're moving. You down here like this way. Then that reverse one is sick too, right? You down here this way, reverse it. There's a lot to learn. Yeah. It just has to do with precision. Yeah, why don't you try to do as much damage as you can? Lasers will make me, you know, easier to track down. Even though I'm not hitting you, you're having a hard time just like
Yeah, I don't
connecting
know
to me.
why I'm like trying to chase you without lasers.
I'm making it hard. Nice. Better. You could have grabbed it then. Alright. Some control. There you go. Look for jabs too, right? Jabs will pop me up. Alright, so on the few hits that you do get, right, on this first hit, you need to give me at least a 40. Right. So a big problem that you have right now is chasing down Falco and executing the damage, right? So if you think about it in neutral, right? Where like, man, I'm like avoiding his attacks and I'm getting in, or navigating the neutral, whatever, right? But like the final step, which is getting in and doing damage, that's the one that's really hard for you right now.
Yeah.
And this is actually one that's pretty good to practice by yourself, right? Just set the CPU like in this one or in any of the games, right? Just any of the modes, just hit them and do as much damage as you can and find the problems that you're suffering from, right? So like when you open on down here right now, you gotta get it low and get that shine on me. So hold up. And you know, instead of just keep going, because this is what's gonna happen in a match. What's gonna happen is you're just gonna improv off of your drop, right? You need to, during this practice session, really figure out why you're dropping it. Because right now, during this practice session, the only thing you're doing is getting better at improving. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. Because you keep dropping the combo in the same way. You're not stopping and saying, why am I dropping the combo? You just keep going like, okay, well, I'm just gonna move along faster, and you know, like this is the way I've learned to cover it, right? This is what will happen in matches. You'll drop it and you'll cover it the way you've been covering it, you know, in practice, right? So let's go back and think about what you did, right? You did this down air shine, and then you kind of just down air a little too fast, right? So after this shine, you have time after this wave dash to look at me and then do it. Yeah, right? So I need you to make sure when you drop it to kind of stop and ask or explain to me why you dropped it. That's good. One thing you did here was you nared, right? So after this little nair, try to have a plan. Like you grab or you down smash, right? Because after you set me here, I was already just here.
Yeah.
Not bad. Let's do another stop. Good. Okay. This was just a case of you coming from here to here, right? And you went over,
Yeah.
right? And another thing, you know, you want to kind of get at, besides that, you can get better at this skill, right? And this skill is just called attacking the line, right? And it's just like in real sports where you have to be precise, right? There's a reason it's the three-pointer line or whatever, right? So like, just whenever you go for this, make sure that you practice it visually, right? How far is it visually? Don't look at me, right? Look at the stage when you do this, right? So this is definitely just one little skill you need, is because when we play, you do this a lot. You just jump off with your attack. So I just need you to visually assess the distance, right? Don't look at the other character. Know how far Falco goes because you play Falco, right? You don't need to look at yourself. And just know that as soon as you leave this spot, if you go full drift, it's over. Right? So all you need to do is from this spot, don't go full drift. Right? And you can change your drift during your jump. Right? Can you show me jump forward, drift back? Yeah. And then there's actually two versions of this. One is with the backflip, and one is without the backflip. It's slightly delayed timing. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
Right. And the reason I'm bringing this up to you is so that you know like how sensitive it is when you drift, right? Like you can literally drift forward and not do this backflip, right? And there's so many different variations on how far forward you move with your attacks, right?
Ready?
So definitely the lesson being, one is you don't have to attack the line the way you have been, and then two is when Mark teched out, right, you didn't have to throw your body on top of him to get this next move, right? When Mark teched out, you could stay here, F smash, or you can stay here and then do this little short hop, but you kind of just like jumped with me as fast as you could, right? So the punish game, you want to slow down and be accurate. Go ahead and start. Down smash. So as soon as he misses the tech, you down smash. Right. There are a couple times you missed, and I want you to not just keep going forward. Right. You wanna explain why you drop stuff. You can start at 0. Okay, so that should have been an up tilt instead of the shine, right? When he's knocked down, it's the up tilt is easier. So hold up. It's okay. You sent him down. He missed tech, right? Then you shined him and sent him up, and then he was like up here, right? So what I want you to think about is when you're doing all these up and down combos, right? One time you send him down, you just gotta send him out, right? If the next shine were to send him so far that you can't hit him, that was the wrong shine. You know what I'm saying? You're kind of just autopiloting on the combo. And this is all with just no DI, right? So try to mix in a few things in shine one time, up tilt the other time. I like that you got up tilt down on this lesson. Yeah, you could have or something. But now you're starting to like watch yourself while you do the combo, right? And you're noticing when you drop stuff, right? So do it one last time for me. Up tilt. Right. So this one is okay, but you just gotta just dash or have a plan faster, right? Maybe you could have hit him, this way closer to the edge.
Yeah, I try not to do the reverse.
It's okay. But what I like though is that you just had a better plan. You can kind of go in knowing what you want to do. Next time you do these exercises, try nair, lasers, anything, right? You can do low nair. Let me do low nair on him. Right, you see how like I delayed right here to do that reverse hard one, right? So there's a couple times it's almost like hacky sack, where if you kick it too early or do something too early, you lose control, right? And it's not about just hitting it.
Yeah.
Right. Hacky sack is definitely the best analogy because you want.
That was a good one.
Yeah, you want to just keep it going, right? And when you lose control, it's because you kicked it differently. It's not because the ball was nuts or whatever. Right? So, in all of your matchups, definitely consider this, which is you can attack differently, right? Because you're probably getting the first or one or two attacks okay, right? Like your ideas of getting towards him and like opening are like not bad, right? But like the way you're connecting, the way you're moving from attack to attack, or just the next move, you're initiating it wrong, picking it wrong, or you know what I'm saying? Like there's a lot of subtle things between the combos that you should clarify because knowledge is hard, right? You said you came from a different game and you don't know the specific timings or combos or weights, right? So this upcoming week on YouTube, just watch and notice, how does it look? When does he double jump? What parts? And when you start comboing people, you'll start looking like that too. is way better already. Right? The way you're moving around Marth, the way you feel confident with it. Yeah, perfect. Perfect. Right? And when you're practicing these offensive things, you know, you're gonna get slightly bored because you get better and better each time. But like, think about like, okay, Marth can do this, or like, my combo failed here.
Yeah.
You know, like just make it a little challenging each time and perfect it. Right? It's a perfection game, not a game about improv, which is what we were doing earlier. Which is like, I dropped the combo, let's just keep hitting it. Let's just keep hitting it. Right? However you practice at home is however you're gonna play. You know what I mean? So if you practice kind of sloppy, if you practice just I'm just gonna hit him the way I want to hit him, your combos look like that. All right, let's just play a stock or two out. Nice counter shine. Nice spacing. Nice. Got you there. But I kind of like came out at you and then immediately hit you, you know? That's back there. Nice. Nice. Another angle. Oh no, I didn't practice. I was like, this is gonna be the dirtiest edge cancel. And then I just died. Alright. Alright. Let me just write down some quick stuff that we talked about. We talked about precision. We talked about practicing combos cleanly. Right? Don't be sloppy about how you practice your combos, and be okay with stopping during the combo practice so that you don't do the thing that we talked about with hack and sack, where you're just kicking it and then you just keep going. You're like, I dropped it, let me just pick it up. You know, I dropped it, pick it up.
Turn hacky sack into soccer.
Exactly right. You're like, it doesn't matter, right? We'll just hit it again. It's like, well, the combo game, right? That's the combo game. Let me see a combo game real quick on Falco, just because he's a big fat body. So that back air needs to be a down move.
Yeah.
That's okay. Alright. Get that quick kill. Get that quick kill. Get me to 40%. Just like I smashed me a couple times. Just give me a 40%. Alright. So after this shine, I want you to notice that you're attacking sometimes too fast. Okay. So you're gonna down air shine me, and then after your shine, wave dash and don't do anything because you attack a little too fast. Okay. So down air shine me. Okay. Now, do you see how like I was like up here, right? And you're down here. So like the little move you can do is like a up air maybe. And that's not going to have too much control over it, right? So kind of appreciate that even though Falcon's up here, he's still in hit stun until he like sinks down a little bit lower, right? And that's when you need to make the hit, when hit stun elapses, right? Not as soon as you're available. It's as late as possible, right? So why don't you down air shine me again, and then have a better plan on how you're going to... There you go. Okay. So give me the 40 again this time. And then instead of not doing anything like I asked you to, this time you're going to get out of that wave dash, yep, and then react appropriately. That was a little bit better. So you instantly double jumped, right? You did this back here.
Yeah.
Right. You can also just stay below me. Right. What I'm getting is that you don't have to act and meet me right away. Because I'm in hit stun for so long, you can be below me like here and do like another down air shine, depending on how low I am, or maybe like a back air or something, right? So get me to 40. Okay. So down air shine me. And then you see how you were jumping so fast.
Yeah, that one was a missed wave dash.
It's okay. Yeah, but even though you missed it, let's just talk about the timing real quick, which is after the shine, I was here, right? And because you could have been here on the wave dash, you have enough time to react.
Yeah.
Right?
Ready? Go!
You can have smash me. Little. That's like better delay, but do you see how when I was up here and then you back air me, there's no way you get control. Right? You immediately lose control after that hit. So what you kind of want to do is get a hard hit back air lower. You kind of did like the rising soft one or whatever, or when we're that high, we kind of just split. But like if I'm low and I split low, you can grab me, or does that make a little bit more sense? Like when we're both high and you use an aerial, the chances of you regaining control are quite low, unless you send me straight down, right? So give me to 40, do the shine, and then, yeah, try a different move out. Okay. That was okay. Well, I smashed DI, so I kind of fucked up, right? But the extra, I kind of fucked up the extra by going too far out. But you were here, and you could have like lasered an edge guard. So be okay with following up with anything. I don't want to mess up this exercise and not let you follow up naturally. So go ahead and hit me. And yeah, do any follow up that will work, but you know, use a little bit of timing to help. A little bit better, and because you sent outwards, right, you lost control. If you had sent down and shine again, you maybe get in a little bit of control, or even like a nair, right? The nair has a little bit less hard knockback. You chose the one that like would send the furthest away possible. Pick that kind of move when we're closer to the edge or at my high percent, right? Yeah, much better, right? Much better conscious decision, right? You kind of wait, and then you can also do double jump down air above me sometimes. But the thing is now you're shining and like you're recognizing I can't attack ASAP. There were a lot of times you had to at lower percent, right? But now you're understanding the shine kind of stun. So why don't you shine me and then wave dash out? There you go, and then you have that appropriate reaction, right? You kind of know what percent I'm at. You have an idea of what's about to happen, right? And you're probably dropping your combos because you don't know what's about to happen, right? And so you want to get a clear picture at every percent. So at like this percent, you have like, you know which moves connect and how they connect, right? Mm-hmm. And then when I get to 40%, you're like, okay, well when Shine goes, he'll be like here, and you have a better plan each time. Why don't you do one more down air exercise on us and we'll call it over. Dash out, and then edge guard, yep. Let's try another one, just, yep. Okay. Here too, don't be afraid to just run out and like soft back here, right? Or just down here too.
I tried to get fancy.
Oh, you tried it.
I tried to do a ledge cancel nair to dare.
It would be sick if you got the hard dare, or the hard nair, yeah. Okay. That's pretty cool. So we just talked about practicing combos cleanly, noticing percent.
Yeah.
Noticing percent and waiting during hit stun. Okay, sometimes you're not waiting during hit stun. wave dashing out of the shine too. That's just a little bit of the thing I'm noticing is the length or the speed, consistency, one of the two, is kind of hurting you. Yeah, so I definitely try to practice it in kind of one motion, the way that we were doing it on Falcon, which is like down here into the shine, into, you know, where am I supposed to go?
Yeah.
And then there are a couple times too where you're doing this good, right? But then when we do the exercise, you do one of these. Sorry, you just like immediately attack out of shine. You know what I'm saying? So definitely practice like all different forms of how you cancel it. Not just repeatedly go back and forth, but like you do down air shine, and then there are a couple times where you immediately, you know, up air. But that's just because you haven't down air shined into wave dash wait. You know, you've always done it into right away attack or right, you know, like so. And each step you can break down it so that you have more control. Like after this step, I choose to do something different, or I choose to do nothing. Right. There are a couple times just after the shine, the way you cancel shine was not as controlled. That's the best way to put it. You get more control as you practice all the different ones out of shine. Yeah, there you go. And then I still just need to see you do fastball down airs. Try to keep up with my pace. That's a little bit better. Yeah, you see how you're going much faster now, right? Before, you kind of just waited. Right, you kind of waited until Falco naturally fell from his peak, but I want you to slam down. Right. Yeah, the amount of time that you're down is quite low. And you're gonna practice these different drifts, exactly forward, backwards, with shine. Right, and what's just been happening before this is you're getting away with doing these slow dares because they are right in a way, right? They're low, but now I want you to time in between where you start your jump and the down air comes out a little bit faster, right? That gives me just that much less time to notice you jumped, right? So like if I notice every time you kind of like do these low, slow, and this changes also the spacing too.
Yeah.
Right? Instead of going full horizontal, exactly. Anytime during the horizontal you press down, all of a sudden, you know, he's not really going forward anymore. There you go. Dude, that was way better down air connection than when we first started, right? So now when you get those low down airs and those shines and you're moving outright, the whole cast should be comboed better. Really. Alright, we're down to the last 5-10 minutes. Do you have any major questions you want to clear out before the end of the lesson? Okay. So I gave you a couple practice modes, and I kind of noticed a few of the things that would help the combo game. You said you have okay experience on neutral game.
I think I kind of understand it more than I actually do it. And I think just me personally, I have a pretty good understanding of like where my opponent wants to be.
Mm-hmm.
Like I can usually, because I mean that's pretty much from PM. Like I can tell when people want to roll.
Mm-hmm. Their body language in a way. Yeah. And you'll get more of a grasp over yourself too, because like right now it just seems like you're not as highly body aware of yourself as you were of your opponents.
Yeah.
Right. So now you're getting down some of that precision. Let me do one more exercise with you before we close out the lesson. I'll do this quick exercise and like a best of 3 with you. So I taught you the barrel buster, right over here. I taught you training mode, and just putting the bots on, getting the combos, both on evade and then standing, right? Now I want to teach you one last thing, and I just want to check to make sure you have this control on just movement alone. Okay, so in neutral, you know how you kind of do these dances around in neutral spacing, right? This is about the space I would do it in the Falco Ditto, okay? So I'm going to put a mine here, right? And I'm going to like just basically dance around and not try to hit the mine, right? Of course there's lasers and stuff in the match, but like this is just getting you to control horizontal space, right? So why don't you switch places with me? And then why don't you just dance around and show me control? This is good. Can you mix in a few attacks? Like, yeah. Show me like a down air near the mine, but not on the mine. Mine's a lot bigger than it looks. Yeah, but mine's about...
It is.
It's a lot bigger than it looks. There you go. Okay, so it looks like you have a lot of neutral control, right? And then you just gotta throw your body on top of them in more correct ways, right? Fast fall that, aerial. A lot of players, when I do this challenge with them, their movement is not as controlled as yours, right? So I like that you have neutral movement control. Let's just get those attacks done, right? Can you show me Barrel Buster real quick? 2 minutes Barrel Buster. You press A.
Choose your character. Ready? Go!
Nice. Already really happy right now how you attack him. Just make sure that you don't every time double jump to the platforms, right? Because almost every time you're doing it, I want you to acknowledge it's a weakness. Right? You can do rising full hop back airs, rising nairs. Yeah, you can do a lot of different versions of the full hop, but if you only practice the double jump, you're gonna be in weak spots. You kind of notice too that the double jump is kind of a tool that you're using to assist you with control. So try to find different ways to control yourself with your dash, your wave lands, or stuff, instead of relying on double jump, because you know the thing is.
Yeah.
Okay. You're moving different. This is good. So yeah, some of these aerials are now being fast fall. You're still missing your dash on right after the aerial. That was a little bit better timing. So yeah, after the L cancel, make sure you get that dash so you can move on to the next barrel. And definitely do this practice to help you with your pressure, right? Because I think that is definitely the only thing you're missing right now is the offensive element. Right? Your defense, your control, it's fine. Now this time you didn't break your high score, but that's okay, because you're like changing the way you think, right? But I guarantee you'll be able to break your high score with better form, like the one you're using right now, in no time.
3, 2, 1. Success!
Alright, let's end the lesson with the best of 3. Any character you want to fight?
Survival.
Yeah.
Mark.
Okay. Y'all feel okay?
Ready? Go!
Let's wake up. That was a good down air.
That was a crazy grab.
But I like the way you position this down air, right? You like jumped all the way to the top.
That was really early there.
Yeah. You didn't hold away on any of them. you just kept
I
on.
didn't put my shield up in time for any of them either.
We'll go anyway.
Ready? Go!
You gotta stop approaching this corner. We didn't talk about that too much in the game, in our lesson though, so I won't punish you too hard for it, but yeah, you keep coming to the edge. Rising down here on shield.
Survival.
You definitely got some percent on me, and just know that each time you do hit me, another Falco might have gotten a little bit more percent if they're doing something a little bit different. So the way you move in neutral and all that stuff is fine. You just have to clean up when you get the hit, how, and what you do after.
Yeah. I just gotta clean it up. I could tell I was thinking about it like the whole match.
Dude, no one ever takes one of these lessons and then just is like, oh, I get it right away, right? They always there's always this period where you have to kind of digest it, and now you have better ideas about offense, right? Integrate it with the knowledge you already got, right? Since you already got good fundamentals. You got the 3 practice exercises I gave you, the 2 training mode ones, the CPU, the barrel buster. For YouTube, definitely like slow down the match, right? When I watch YouTube, I'm definitely a big fan of all the settings. So let me show you real quick. I learned a couple things. Okay, so speed, of course, right? No one tells you this, but 2 times is actually really good if you're looking for something, right? You speed up the game and like, oh, there's an edge guard. Then you pause and slow down, right? So slowing it down is hella important, right? And there's a lot of times I do this stuff, right? Where it's just like, okay, same as just down smash Mart's shield. Mart's wave dashing down. And then you go, what's about to happen, right? And then you press play. Oh my god, that was so fast. Let's do half. Right? And then there's also frame by frame. Oops. Not in the video anymore, so. Right? The frame by frames are the little arrows, but you can stop, and there's a lot of times, dude, where I like stop and look for like exact situations on timings, on positioning, like when did he make this decision? When did he back off? Like all these little things, right? And when you watch YouTube, don't be afraid to stop the match because the match is going too fast. Right. Just go state by state, break down each situation.
Oh, you want me to tell you?
No. That's not what I'm saying. I'm saying when you when you do this at home. Because it's very easy for me to watch a match and it kind of just goes by, right? So, like, ask yourself these questions, like, how does he do this, right? And then so, like, fast forward through the match, and then when you see it, you're like, oh, I do this wrong, he did this right. Pause it, rewind it, watch it slow. There's a lot of value, too, because you'll just kind of put yourself in his shoes and say, like, what would I have done? Mm-hmm. Right, and then you press play, and you're like, okay, I need to do what he did. Right, and then you go into practice mode. Try it out. But yeah, Mark, that was the 1 hour. That was the lesson. I hope you got a lot to work on.
Yeah. It's good, though. I haven't worked on a game in a very long time.
Yeah, since PM.
Yeah.
Dude, learning offense, though, is really fun in that game. Learning offense in this one is a different kind of beast. It's more about precision than anything.
Yeah.
It does not reward you necessarily for picking the right move. Right? You have to do it the right way and, like...
Yeah, PM, I'm, like, all willy-nilly by the edge. And just get away with it. You just die.
Yeah, in Melee, you might die. Yeah, you might just die if you do it wrong. What is the purpose of this exercise? Hit stun practice? Yeah, a little bit. Markway didn't connect some of his moves perfectly, so he's not doing perfect combos. Alright, stream, that was one of the lessons. I have another lesson starting in about 20 minutes. I'm going to just turn on some chill tunes. Thanks for coming by, man.
Yeah.
OBS. Yeah, and then I'll put your lesson on our YouTube, and then you can watch it, and you can watch all the other lessons too. Fresh 20. Thank you.